DC has been in chaos mode, at least at the box office, for the last 5 or 6 years. Jay, out of the last 10 DC movies that have come out, 9 of them have been massive financial flops. Some of them losing hundreds of millions of dollars, like Joker 2, like The Flash. The only thing that's been profitable for them was The Batman. That's it. And it sounds like The Batman Part 2 has a lot of problems with its production. But the next movie, the first James Gunn DC Universe movie, is coming out in July. And what we're hearing with these new, a little plot leak that is now leaking out, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It sounds retarded. But if there's one thing we've learned about retarded plot leaks, whether it's for Rise of Skywalker that leaked on 4chan and Reddit, whether it's for Game of Thrones Season 8 that leaked out, sometimes they're just retarded enough to be true. Yes. Superman plot leak. James Gunn makes online trolls Superman's new kryptonite. Look at that Superman curl he's got going on there, Jay.
Impressive.
He doesn't look very happy. Somebody about to throw a can at the back of his head, but he does have that Superman curl. James Gunn's revenge on the internet. A bizarre rumored plot leak for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims the Man of Steel gets dragged into the world of cancel culture. In the leak, it's claimed James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. No, we're not joking. It's further claimed that James Gunn uses a hashtag super shit hashtag in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. But the real twist, Lex Luthor is behind it all, using an army of mutant monkeys at keyboards to flood and troll the internet and tear Superman down.
Now, all of that I probably can believe until we get to the mutant monkeys. That might be... Now I think you've crossed the line. Why would Lex Luthor need mutant monkeys to constantly post on Twitter? I mean, he could just outsource that to India or someplace like that. He could outsource that somewhere. He doesn't need to have mutant monkeys. That doesn't make sense to me. I've seen those videos on TikTok where people in China and India, they've got like 100 phones. And you could go up to them on the street and pay them like $20, and they'll retweet like something that you put on or like an Instagram post and everything. It's an actual thing that you can go do that. The man on the street, So I feel Lex Luthor would have the money to outsource that type of propaganda. Everything else.
He's a businessman, Jay. Exactly. He's trying to save money. He had some random program. He was trying to make a bunch. Maybe he was like trying to do something. Gorilla Grodd's out there in the world. They got these hyper intelligent, gorillas that are out there. Maybe he wanted to make his own thing. And he's like, what the fuck am I going to do with all these monkeys? Now, I know they can be trolls online. Now, look, James Gunn inserts himself into his stories constantly. Yeah. Even the fucking dog, even Crypto the dog, the reason Crypto's in this movie and the reason that Crypto looks the way he does is because of James Gunn's dog, and he wanted to put that in there. He wrote himself into the Creature Commandos stuff, like into the opening sequences. Like, James Gunn puts himself in everything. We know James Gunn, what he went through with Marvel and Disney several years ago at this point, ended up getting fired, then rehired. We also know James Gunn's feelings towards a lot of people online who might not like his vision for the DC universe at this point. Bro, if this is real, and I fucking hate most of these scoopers. I think a lot of them make up shit. But, if this is real, what the fuck are we doing here? Hashtag super shit trending, and it makes the Man of Steel feels sad that people are spreading bad things about him online.
It makes him sad. Yeah. Well, I think that's his entire, like, Lex Luthor's probably going to try to do something to tarnish his image. So why not use cancel culture instead of inventing a massive machine with kryptonite rays and all kinds of cool stuff that he could possibly do? I know what will kill Superman. Get this trending online immediately.
Lex Luthor's going to run a massive social media campaign to make Superman look like the bad guy,
Yeah, well, if that's the case, if a sniff of this comes out as true, this movie is not going to be the wondrous Superman film we've all wanted and waited for. That's for sure.
And look, this is if it is real, this is probably like fucking 5 minutes of something, right? That it's like, oh, these things, Lois, these fucking bad things they're saying about me online really make me sad. They said super shit, Lois, super shit, Lois. Right? That might do something like that, and then it's revealed that Lex Luthor's behind it. I imagine this won't be the focal point of the movie.
We think that, but like you said, we did go over like past leaks that I thought were stupid. I think one of the two dumbest leaks that I covered on my channel was the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which I couldn't believe like half of that was real. And the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. When some of those leaks came out that it was all about time travel and Indiana Jones is having a breakdown and a woman, all that. Now, one of the leaks is that I think he gets killed or something at the end. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridges' character puts the hat on at the end. That didn't happen, but the majority of everything else that came out did. And I was like, there's no way they're going to do this to Indiana Jones. Like they can't be this dumb, but they can. So here we are.
I hope it's not real. I would love. I'm not a huge James Gunn fan. I like some of his stuff. Don't like some of his stuff. I would love if we got a great, fantastic Superman movie. Right. I would love to see that in theaters. I certainly have a lot of hesitation surrounding what James Gunn's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion when it does come out. But, bro, if this is real, it's going to be fucking wild.
The thing is, if this movie bombs, like in their eyes, does this just tank the whole James Gunn universe? Do they go into a panic? Do they stop it?
Here's the thing. This movie does need. Now, I'm not saying that this needs to be $1 billion movie. Now, maybe remember, it's easy to forget. At one point, we had official tax documents from their filming in Ohio to get the tax breaks from Ohio where they filmed that said the budget of this movie is somewhere around $370 million, right?
Woo.
So it may actually need to hit $1 billion to break even. But what it does need to do, it needs to do really well. So I'm talking 800 million-ish in that realm. And it needs to be very well received. I think those are like the bare minimum things. I think it needs to be very well received because they've got a lot planned, right? Yeah. Supergirl's going to be in this fucking movie, and her movie's coming out soon.
So. Yeah, because you got to get people invested in this universe to come back to the theater. So I think the Batman 2 doesn't happen. Have you heard those reports? Like, even though that has nothing to do with James Gunn, but a lot of people saying that thing is that's not gonna happen. Of course, it's all from scoopers.
For which one? The Batman 2?
Yeah, the Batman 2.
Which is, again, that is the one profitable movie that DC has put out in the last 5 years. After Joker 2, right? Or sorry, after Joker, which was 2019, I believe, made $1 billion fucking dollars. Let me see if I can name all of the movies that have come out, Jay. Birds of Prey, The Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, or whatever the hell that movie was called, flopped. Wonder Woman 1984, The Suicide Squad, The Flash, Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, Black Adam. Did I say Blue Beetle?
No.
Blue Beetle. I have to be missing one of them. There's a Joker 2. Joker 2 is the other one, right? 9 of the 10 movies that they've released in the last 5 years have failed. Now, for some of those, you do have a little bit of an excuse. Wonder Woman 1984, The Suicide Squad, both of those were released on the same day on their streaming service because that was when, theaters were still not at capacity because of COVID and blah, blah, all this bullshit. So what those would have done if they were just strictly theatrical releases, we don't know. So you can put an asterisk on those if you want, but they were financial failures, bottom line. Like they are fucked right now. So they need this to turn it around. They need this. They need this first official. We had Creature Commandos, whatever. This is the first James Gunn's universe movie coming out. It's fucking Superman. They got a bunch of other characters in it too. It needs to hit. It needs to hit for them.
Crazy that we're sitting here talking about a Superman movie that might not do well. That's just such a odd thing to say. How do you mess it up? It's like, how do you mess it up? I guess we'll find out. Are you still holding on to the prediction that the dinosaurs will reign July? Like that will win the July box office over Fantastic Four and Superman? Because I got to
I
be
don't have any
honest with
reason to
you,
change my prediction.
I'm sitting on that fence right now. I'm sitting with you on that fence. I think the dinosaurs is going to win the July box office.
That's the safe thing, because Fantastic Four or Superman both need to be very good. Jurassic Park, World Rebirth, whatever the fuck it's called, it doesn't need to be very good, as we've seen, and people show up to them. So I don't know.